This video is sponsored by State of Survival. As y'all probably know, DC animated movies used to not be tied down to a mediocre universe that ended up essentially imploding itself and starting over with another universe, this time a lot more interesting, though I'm worried it's gonna taper into mediocrity yet again. No, DC animated movies prior to Flashpoint were nearly all hits, and their Batman films? Oh, their Batman films were insane. The Dark Knight Returns is one I want to talk about at some point, but man, Under the Red Hood came out in 2010 and my dumb little kid brain was absolutely enamored by this film. If you want to know why Batman is such a brilliant character, why his rogues gallery is so enticing, and why his story is so compelling, forget the live action movies, this movie perfectly encapsulates what Batman is in less than 90 minutes. Yeah, the movie's only 75 minutes long. I'm pretty sure this movie introduced me, and probably a good amount of new Batman fans, to the Red Hood. And this movie is so fantastic that I always compare every new Batman animated movie to it, to see, well, if they're up to par. And trust me when I tell you, it's hard to find many that are. Now, before we get started, let's talk about today's sponsor. State of Survival is a zombie-themed survival strategy mobile game. It is free to play and available in both Apple and Google app stores. The game's about a company called Gigacorp dooming catastrophe upon the world because of a deadly weapon. As the survivor of the disaster, you are expected to rebuild your home and eventually save humankind from darkness. And yes, the game has zombies. Unlike other strategy games, State of Survival has an innovative gameplay design called Explorer Trail. In this mode, you'll get to explore unknown areas and fight with waves of zombies. And killing zombies is so freaking fun. From November 25th through January, the game's crossing over with DC to include a new hero, the Joker. There's a customized storyline, fun-themed gameplay, and in-game events like the Arena of Doom, and Laughing Zombies, where a new type of zombie is created from laughing gas. The game's a lot of fun, and you know me, I love stories, and this one is full of exciting twists and turns you don't want to miss. So download State of Survival using the link in the description to experience this limited-time Joker crossover event. Use my creator code Browntable SOS to redeem an in-game starter pack. The number of starter packs is limited, so it's first come, first served. And not just that, State of Survival is giving away 10 $50 Amazon gift cards to 10 random players who download via my link and reach level 6 of the game. Thanks so much, State of Survival, for sponsoring this video. So we just talked about the Joker in that ad, right? So let's talk about him some more. I love the Joker. Whenever people say there's too much Joker, I literally don't care. Black Mask in Arkham Origins ends up actually being the Joker? People were like, oh my god, stop using the Joker, but I didn't give a fat shit. The Joker is such a complex, interesting character, and the way he interacts with Batman and pushes him over the edge is always a blast to watch. But the main thing with the Joker is that he has to be portrayed right. Sometimes I feel people misinterpret the character to be more so a funny bad guy than anything else. The best kind of Joker isn't the kind of Joker whose jokes you want to laugh at. No, the best kind of Joker is the kind of Joker that you don't want to laugh at. And if you do laugh, you feel bad about it, because this dude is just so sick in the head. And this is perfectly exemplified in Batman Under the Red Hood, which opens with the Joker literally beating a child to a pulp.
Jason Todd basically gets beaten to death with a crowbar. It's a really ugly episode.
The way the movie opens is fantastic, just no room to breathe. Unlike the comics, which had a whole plot with Jason and his mom, the film simplifies it, and you're just thrust into an intense life or death clock ticking down situation in which Batman has to save his second Robin from certain doom. And unlike the comics where Jason's mom tries to get the door open and she yells out it's locked, the film executes this scene in a much better way, a more painful way. Jason drags himself to the door, he tries to open it, recognizes the bomb, and instead of panicking or crying out for help, he looks on and accepts it. It's over. Fuck, this movie is so good! And this is Batman's greatest failure, right? The film has a moment later on where Red Hood appears in Gotham and Batman follows him to Ace Chemicals. Jason tells Bruce that here, Bruce accidentally created the Joker and this is probably his greatest failure.
In a way, Batman, this was the site of your first great failure. Maybe your greatest.
But while the Red Hood tries to convince us of this, we all know it's Jason. Jason Todd's death might be the greatest tragedy in Batman's life up to this point, as it's something Bruce could have controlled. He didn't have to make Jason Robin, but he did. He thrust Jason into that position, Jason a boy that trusted him, and ultimately, it got him killed. This isn't Bruce witnessing the murder of his parents, something that he couldn't have stopped as he was like, what, 8 at the time? This is Bruce dealing with the repercussions of the mistakes of the past.
It is Batman's greatest failure. It's the worst loss he's ever had since the death of his parents.
Someone that he was supposed to be protecting, someone that he was supposed to be taking care of, that he was not only mentor to, but also a parent kind of to, and he fails.
Jason Todd returns like a ghost to taunt Bruce, burying Bruce in guilt and frustration as he stares at the uniform of the Robin that once was. I think the best kinds of superhero stories are those that push the hero to their limits. What do they want? What do they need? What is stopping them? It all comes down to what matters to the hero, and what matters depends on who they are, and I think most stories revolve around that. Who is the main character? Their actions dictate how people feel about them, and their words influence the actions of others. And so the entire time, we're kind of led to believe that Jason has it in for Bruce. He's taunting this dude, he's taken over the criminal underworld, branding himself a more effective Batman. But as the movie goes on, you start to realize that Jason's doing this for a specific reason. He deems Batman to be useless and wants to show him just how much more effective he can really be. But that's the thing. Why? Why not just kill Batman? So it's not solely about hate, and if it is, it's not primarily directed at Batman, Bruce Wayne. No. See, if Batman went to extremes, maybe Jason would still be alive. So it's finally revealed that the Red Hood sure wanted to show Bruce how he was more effective than him, but ultimately the main reason he was power playing Black Mask was because he wanted Black Mask to get so desperate he'd break the Joker out of prison, and in doing so, finally spring his final plan into action. And it's just the animation, which is fantastically executed. It's the music by Christopher Drake, an absolute god. It's the voice acting by Bruce Greenwood as Batman, who gets the grit absolutely on point. It's Jensen Ackles, who can deliver incredibly raw lines to perfection. It's John DiMaggio, who has probably the best and most unique Joker voice since Mark Hamill. These three characters finally clash after an exhausting chase sequence that leaves Jason beaten, but not defeated. He pulls out a gun, and he finally tells Batman the truth. He forgives Batman for not saving him. That isn't the crux of the film's conflict. The Joker is, because the Joker is still alive.
I'm not talking about killing Penguin, or Scarecrow, or Dent. I'm talking about him. Because he took me away from you.
Jason gives Batman an ultimatum. Either he kills Jason, or Jason kills the Joker. And of course, Batman doesn't kill. He can't, because that would make him a murderer, an executioner, just like the man that killed his parents, and Bruce can't have that. And it sucks because we as the audience understand Joker deserves it. We've seen firsthand what Joker put Jason through. Batman didn't see it. The violence, the brutality. We did. And from Jason's point of view, too. And so as the dust settles and Bruce says he can't kill, we understand, but at the same time, we're gutted because we understand where the characters are coming from. Even Bruce admits he's thought of killing the Joker before.
All I've ever wanted to do is kill him. But if I do that, I'll never come back.
Neither Jason nor Bruce are wrong in certain ways, and this drama is what makes the movie so damn juicy.
Him or me? Decide!
I love it so much. The movie also flashes back at times to the past, and we see the Batman in Jason Todd's Robin, how naive he was when he was younger, and how fun it was back in the day. Taking down the Riddler, for example. It was comedic, and it almost has an Adam West-y vibe. Contrasting what happened back then to the present, Jason Todd is the Red Hood. Who he was flashes for a split second, as fast as a lightning strike in Batman's eyes before disappearing.
After this, he became the Dark Knight. He became this more tortured Avenger. And I think part of that was they got back to the essence of who Batman was, which was he's haunted by death.
It's trauma, it's pain, it's remembering, and of course, it's living with it. No matter what happens now, the memories of what happened then stay with you. Was Jason Todd's soul saved at the end of the day? We don't know. But what we do know is that years later, Bruce was finally able to make it on time and save his son. The film ends with Alfred asking Batman if he wants to remove Jason's Robin suit from the Batcave, and Bruce answers no.
This doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything at all.
The movie is a literal tragedy, and to cap it off, it ends with yet another flashback, with a smiling Robin, ready to take on the world.
This is the best day of my life.
Batman Under the Red Hood, easily one of the best DC animated movies, and one of the best Batman movies. It could easily be anyone's legit favorite Batman movie, and I wouldn't even be mad. It's just that good. It takes itself and its characters seriously, and speaks to the audience in such a mature, compelling way that you can't help but listen. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. Thanks so much Redirexter for this Maria fan art from Interstellar Ranger Commence. And make sure to check out Interstellar Ranger Commence on April 2nd, 2022 on the channel. The trailer is in the description. Make sure to cop some Browntable merch, and some new merch is coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much patrons for supporting the channel. Your help really means a lot. It really helped out making this video possible, that's for sure. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and of course comment. Well, actually, liking, does that even matter anymore? I mean, still like it, but like, it's, you know, it's like they removed the dislike, so it's like, what, it just feels weird. But whatever, you know. Anyways, thanks so much for coming to the table, and I'll see you all next time.